You know what time it is. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's get this party started. Let me just get everybody in here.
Of course. Of course, Howard has to say the music is going too far. I'm sorry. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly gets me hyped, man. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, that's one of my favorite movies. Oh, our surprise co-host with the most.
Well, not as good as Nikki, and I'll be the first to admit that.
I can back you up on that.
We have my back on that. I'm better shaved
and I'll attest to that
than the guy who never shaves. I don't want to call him out, but I'm just saying.
Just call him out. Call him out. What's going on, Aaron? What's going on, Kathleen? Oh, how's your day?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, doing good.
Hope you're all doing well.
Can't complain. No one listens anyway.
Oh, come on, Howard. Come on.
Waiting for our guests to
now
come in here.
I really might leave. Oh, because of sloppies. Of course. You just look.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's fine. It's just he's filling the square beautifully. He has a beautiful shirt on from what I see. Look at that. Look at that awesomeness. So you're not shaving tonight. You are comment monitor.
Oh, I'm on this.
He's on that. So
it's Carlos who does the most lives art.
Uh-oh. Technical
really?
difficulties. It says,
oh, there he is.
Says Peter.
There he is.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, fellas. How are you guys doing?
Welcome, Peter. How are you doing?
Good. Let me just lower this a little bit. Hold on one second. I had my headphones on.
And there we go.
What's happening then?
Yeah. You don't want that with me talking, because the Portuguese loud comes out loud and clear. That's for sure. Everyone does. Everyone does. So you're not shaving tonight, are you, Peter?
What's that? Am I supposed to?
You're not shaving tonight. Yeah. No, you don't have to. We're just asking. I'm just asking.
I mean, I could take it. I could get a bowl and shave.
No, it's all good. You're gonna get berated with questions anyway, so you gotta be on point with all your answers.
Okay, that's fine.
The cup of Joe. So what are you using tonight, Sully? Let's get that out of the way quickly.
Sure. Tonight I am going with
very nice
pistachio.
Who?
Yes.
Who's that by?
To be appropriate. I don't know, some company called Ariana and Evans that
never yeah, not many people have.
Yeah.
Another upstart.
And then sorry for the razor, going with the Rockwell, and for the brush.
Awesome.
AKA.
Beauty. I am going with one of my first ones that I love, Spartacus by A&E. Love this scent.
That's a good one.
And
thank you.
I'm also going with my
Coopercon. I wish I could take credit for it.
I know, but hey, I mean, I can't afford the actual cologne, so this is bang on from what I've smelled, so I'll take that for sure.
Thank you.
And I'm using also my Altair. Alrighty.
Good stuff.
And I'm using nothing.
Just your beauty to hypnotize all the viewers. So we're having 3 giveaways today, folks, tonight. The first one is a really awesome one, and I'll let you take that away, Peter.
Oh. Do I have one here? Okay, so we're going to give away the B1 Nancy razor.
Beautiful.
So I was going to do CONUS only, but we'll ship anywhere. And if it's overseas someplace, just we'll figure it out, like split it, you know, we'll go
Sure.
50-50 on it or something like that. But for those who haven't seen it, I have a razor still in here. But
Yeah,
here
awesome.
it is.
Beautiful.
And what's nice about this is it opens up.
Very nice.
So I'll take the blade out
That's so cool.
and place it. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a heavy duty mechanism inside. So this is, you know, this will outlast me, that's for sure. So yeah, so we'll give this away today. I don't know how you guys are going to handle that. Are you guys gonna do a poll after the fact, or?
Yeah, after the fact, we'll have them send us the email or whatever, and then we'll send it to you.
All right, good.
And we're also doing.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say some of the retailers are now getting them in stock. So
Awesome.
you can buy it
That's
from
good.
me, or yeah. So the wet shaving store, the razor company.
Nice.
I don't know who else. So, but you know, you check your favorites out there, and they may have it.
Awesome. Good to know. And the other two giveaways are well, Nikki's giving away a Shannon Soaps Vanilla Mint soap, and paired with that is giving the Holland Glen set, both soap and splash, by Talbot and Mowell. I think that's how you say it.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I was kind of rehearsing that earlier, but such a small word, but confused the hell out of me. And that one will be CONUS only, though, Nikki said. And I will be doing a $20 gift card to Zingari Man. So we'll do those later on. We'll save the best for last, of course, the B1 Lancer.
Nikki was going to be here with us, but he's got some family issues going on. So, you know, family's a little bit more important. So we just wanted to let everybody know that he would have been here, but he may pop in. We'll see. We're not really sure, but we've got Sloppy with us tonight. So that'll make up for it.
Do what I can.
All right. Yeah. So we got a few questions. I'm sure this one you've heard a million times, but there are a bunch of new wet shavers who don't know the story. We know who you are, but what's your company brand and what do you do?
I make soaps. So I have the shaving.
When I read the question, I was laughing.
So I had the shaving shop, right? We started with the shaving shop, and for those that don't know, when I started, basically what I did is I worked with artisans and I commissioned them to make soaps exclusively for us. So that was and that's really, I don't think anyone did that before, with the exception of Mag Arts had, oh geez, who was doing it for them? They're still doing it. But anyway, they have a few soaps that are white labeled and branded under the Mag Arts name. So I had Katie's Bubbles, and PAA did a soap for me, and there was a bunch of them. Ginger's Garden and Vanulay, and and that worked out well, put us on the map. People knew who I was because, you know, I'm a hobbyist just like you guys, right? Yeah. And I was doing the YouTube videos and doing reviews. So I was lucky in that respect because I had a built-in audience. So that really helped us quite a bit. So I had a leg up in the beginning. But anyway, to make a long story short, I wanted to have more consistency, and I'm bypassing the whole club thing, the initial club. But I wanted to have some consistency, and I wanted to have put my hat in the ring and try this whole soap making stuff. And I figured if it sucks, I just won't make it. I won't introduce it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I did a lot of research and all that stuff, and I knew that I wanted a tallow base. I knew I wanted lanolin. I knew I wanted goat's milk because I loved it's been a long day, guys. Sorry. And also, since I've had COVID, my memory is just shot to shit. But anyway, I knew I wanted goat's milk, I wanted lanolin, I wanted tallow, and I just added a bunch of stuff from there that I wanted to work with that I think that I thought would be good. And my very first, I cooked in a crock pot like this big, a micro crock pot.
Okay.
And I stuck a spoon in once everything's saponified. I stuck a spoon in ran into the bathroom because it hardened pretty quickly. And I took my brush and I started right on the spoon. I started generating a lather and I shaved with it, and it worked really well. And I was actually shocked. So I thought maybe I was onto something. So from that point forward, it was just, I was gangbusters. I was just going all out all day long. I mean, I worked virtual, so I was able to do a lot of stuff from home.
Awesome.
So, I mean, I was making, I don't know how many micro batches per day, but I was doing just a shit ton of micro batches. I saw something about Wi-Fi. Is everyone able to see me and hear me okay?
Yeah, you're freezing every so often just a little bit, but you're doing good.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So I don't know how many I was doing per day, but I was just doing a ton. I was actually addicted to this. It was like a drug. And once I got to a point where I thought, wow, this is really good, something I could release, I contacted my friends, and because I was on YouTube and I was around, and I was I still had friends with Bruds and Chris Bailey and Gonzalez and David Gonzalez and several other guys. I had 10 guys that became my testers.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Esposito was another one. And I just said, here, it has to be unanimous. Once you guys say that this is ready to be released, then I'll release it. And one guy with the very first one, he said it was ready, release it, it's great. And then I remember Rudd said, it's not that good.
Oh,
to do something with the post shave. And but we got to a point where everyone gave the thumbs up that it was ready to release, and that's when we released it. And
nice.
The rest is history.
That's cool. So what was your first soap then you released, or did you release 2 or 3 of them?
So I released a few. Well, I think the very first one was SoCal, and soon after Asian Plum, which became Asian Plum. At the time I thought blew up. Kaizen just far surpassed that. But but that really put us on the map. And then when I released, so I'm jumping ahead. When I released Kaizen, that really blew up for us, not only here in the U.S. but internationally. Then we were just starting to get known really all over the place.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I mean, listen, I haven't. It seems like I've been doing this a long time, but I'm still in my. We're still in our infancy, really. If you really think about it, I've only been doing it. I mean, a year and a half, not quite 2 years ago, I was still doing this out of my house. So I was doing that in my kitchen, and then we couldn't do it in the kitchen anymore. So I built an addition to the house, which I think would be good for a few years. And we lasted 8 months in the addition. So I built it off the garage. So I had the garage plus it was like a 12 by 24 addition. And there just wasn't enough room for storage, and we needed more space. And from there I rented, there's a old factory that they made into lofts and stuff. And I had a really nice space. I don't know if you guys remember, I had very high ceilings. It was really cool because I had the brick walls painted white. But we outgrew that in a year. So now we're in Sonia, like the next town over. And we're taking up Sully's been here. It's really long. So we take up the whole kind of city block where we are on Main Street. And so where I'm at here is the showroom. But from the showroom, you go to this like breakout room. It's like a party room. And then it starts the production area and shipping, and where I do the cooking and storage. I also have storage behind us here. Yeah. But so
that showroom, that showroom. I remember when you released that showroom, man, that's gorgeous. Great job designing that. I mean, that's one sexy showroom.
Thank you. So we're not open to the public. I'll do events here. We'll do release parties. And I had this space, so I didn't know what to do with it. So I said, let's make a showroom so I can do videos from here, and stuff like what we're doing here today. And we had the one event. Sully came up from Sully's in Connecticut, so you didn't have too long of a drive.
Yeah.
New Haven.
I love New Haven, by the way. Worcester Street, and it's the best pizza in the world in New Haven. So yeah, so it really worked out, and we'll have another event probably springtime, maybe.
So I have a question, and I just to fill in, and it was funny. It came up today. I was talking with some older shavers. Not that they were old, but they've been in the hobby a little longer, talking about, man, do we miss Peter? Because you were big time hobbyist, which you don't hear a lot about that from the interviews I've seen of you. You were neck deep in it as a hobbyist first.
Oh yeah.
And then went from there.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I was just like you guys. I still am. I don't buy soaps like I did. I just use my own. But oh man, I really fell in that rabbit hole big time. So I don't even know how I got started. I mean, my father had a Gillette, and I mean that's how he shaved, and my grandfather. But I started to see stuff like on Amazon, and I don't know what made me think to just, I went to Amazon, I bought a DE89, and I didn't know what soaps to get, never heard of I didn't know there was this thing, right? So I didn't know there was a thing like a hobby. This was, a hobby. So I just bought on Amazon and some crappy soap and a crappy horse brush that as soon as I lathered, all the bristles fell out. It was just horrible. But I think I got it for $3.99 or something like that. I didn't know what brushes went for. I didn't know. So I had derby blades that came with the DE89, but I started shaving with it, and I said, wow, this is pretty cool, And I mean, in the past, I used my father's, and but it was like just a shave. It wasn't. But when I purchased the DE89, I wanted to kind of get into it. I thought it was really cool. Kind of retro, and I just wanted to try it out. So anyway, I fell in love with it. Fell in love with the hobby. I don't know what made me think of doing searches on Facebook. But I was shocked to see how many Facebook groups there were. And so I started joining all these Facebook groups. And then people were posting their shaves of the day. So I said, oh, man, I better buy some more stuff. So I started buying stuff on Amazon, and I found out there's retailers and, purchased from Magards, and I found out about, some of these artisans. I said, wow, people are making this from home. That's pretty cool. And so, yeah, I just got into it, and I stopped counting at 180 soaps. And I think I purchased that amount within 6 months. I don't know. It was just ridiculous how I was up every night, late at night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning on eBay, putting in bids, see what I can find, and then it's just crazy. It was insane. Back in those days, I mean, wet shaving's popular, but it seems like it was crazier back then. Maybe because I lived it and I was really into the hobby, and I'm not quite like that anymore. It's it's a business, and but back in those days, I don't know if people still do this, but when there's a release, well, actually they do it because they do it with me. I've got guys in the VIP group. How come it's not online yet? They're texting me, or what's going on? There's a 6 o'clock release at 6:03. Where is it? So, but that's how we were with these releases, and it just was crazy when people were just refreshing, and I'm not so sure it could be still like that. I don't know. Are you guys like that?
Oh, it is.
Yes,
it most definitely is. Like, I think 7 months 7 months in, I'm up 130 soaps. So yeah. It's a crazy rabbit hole for sure.
It's crazy. But I tell guys in the group, I don't know if you've seen me post this, but I tell guys to pace yourselves. When I have a release, if it's not calling you, don't buy it or wait.
That's right.
I want guys to be in this for the long haul, and I see people burn themselves out, you know, because they, you know, maybe like they're like us and buy, you know, 200 soaps within months, and then they say, "Holy shit, what have I done? I'm never going to use these soaps." And then they kind of get out of the hobby. Maybe they're still wet shave, but they kind of get out of the hobby. So I don't want guys to do that. I want guys to just. So funny, Earl. Hey, Earl. I saw Earl start laughing about tasting. Yeah, Earl doesn't. That doesn't. That doesn't.
Why? That doesn't apply to Earl. That doesn't apply to Earl.
Earl buys 5 of each of everything he introduced.
So
crazy.
So Latherhog just said there are fewer hyped drops than there used to be. And I've only been in it for like 2 years, but it seems like there's a lot of hype around some of these drops.
So here's what I think. John is right, but because back in those days there was just a handful of artisans. Now everyone in their corner is, you know, releasing a soap and making soaps, and which I think is great. Mm-hmm. It's great for the hobby. You know, you want to have you want to be pushed, and you want guys to come out and do the best that they can do, even surpass you, because it makes you. You can't settle on your laurels and just be set and think that what you have is the greatest and will always be the greatest. And because I tell people this, I say this probably on every interview. But so I'm in a race. I'm really in a race against myself. I don't pay attention to what other artisans do. I don't even know. I'm going to just spit off names. But PAA releases and Declaration and I have no idea what they're releasing. I just don't pay attention in that way anymore. But this is a race without a finish line. So you always have to keep running and push yourself. Otherwise, you become obsolete very quickly. And so I'm just, until I die, I'll just keep running this race.
That's it.
And everyone's in search of perfection. You never achieve perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. But you're always running towards perfection.
Bilu actually asked an interesting question. He wanted me to ask it to you. So are you guys still doing the base race, or are you focusing more on like scents now?
I'm sorry, say that again. I'm not sure I understood.
Are you guys still focusing on the base race, or are you guys focusing focusing more so on new scents?
So I guess there was a base race, wasn't there? There was a couple years back. Everyone, you know, not everyone, but Zingari came out with a new base, Declaration, and Barrister and Man. And I was about to release something. I held off for several months because I wanted things to kind of settle, because everyone they were releasing soaps all at the same time.
Okay.
So I don't think that it's a race. Of course, everyone wants to be the best they can be, right? Of course. So in that respect, maybe. But the answer to the question is no. I'm pretty much settled on K2E for now.
Nice.
But you know, but again, only because I don't want to. If it was up to me, I'd release a new base every other week, because that's what I enjoy doing the most.
Okay.
Is, creating. So, but that'll just drive everyone nuts. When I released K2E, people were going crazy because this is just a money grab.
No, it's nice.
It's really not the case. The thing was that, and I'll get back again to you. I'll circle back. But the reason why I released K2E was because we were still in our infancy, and I knew I could do much. I didn't know what I didn't know back when I first released our first base, and even with Kaizen, I still was learning a lot, and I'm still learning a lot. Yeah. So I wanted to improve to be, because I knew we could be much better. And now I'm pretty much settled on K2E to a point where I just said, okay, no more Kaizen, no more K2. Everything's going to be K2E. We're going to have our vegan base, and then we're going to have our value line, which is Pedro Fiasco. Nice.
Yeah.
So So for now, there's no plans. I'm always creating new bases. So now what I'm doing is I'm creating new bases for white label. So
Nice.
there'll be a couple of retailers that there are a couple of retailers that we're going to be making soaps for. And of course, I did my thing with Dovo, and there's going to be another company that will announce at some point relatively soon. And then I'll be doing something. I have something in the works, but it's not to replace K2E. It's going to be in a completely different bucket. Sully, you probably saw my post. I'm not going to make the announce, I'm like, but I'm doing something else. And, but it's certainly not imminent, and it's not going to replace K2E. So, so though there's no race, and I'm not going to keep introducing new bases. I'm really happy with K2E for now, but we'll see. I mean, if
it's an excellent
if every
base.
one of their brother introduces new bases and just kills K2E,
Yeah.
maybe, who knows, maybe, but because you do want to be the best you can be. And also, this is a business.
Of course.
Some people forget. So this is how I make a living. A lot of people do this, as a hobby or to supplement their income. But this is it for us. So, we want to be able to put our best foot forward and be the company that people think has among the best soaps out there.
Yeah.
So as long as we're in the conversation, I'm happy with that.
Awesome. That's awesome. Fluffy?
What's the vegan base? I don't know why I can't remember it.
Oh, VR1.
VR1.
I haven't introduced a lot.
It's
with
fantastic.
That because, oh, thank you.
I've got it in.
So Vita After Dark. We have Cucumber and Melon. And there's a couple others. Bang.
Yes.
But the K2E, people just want they want K2E. I mean, VR1 is great base. VR1 seems to be more popular in Europe than in the States for whatever reason. But we'll continue having that base. I may tweak that a little bit because again, there's room for improvement. And that was my first. No, that was my second. I had the shave butter. That was my very first vegan offering. And then I knew I could do much better with that. And the VR1 base I think is great, but that can be improved upon also. But for now, we'll just keep that as it is.
Awesome.
So I don't have many scents, only because the K2E just sells so much more. They're just people that just still gravitate towards tallow, which I'm one of them. I always I love tallow-based soaps.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Sweet.
VR1 is fantastic, and I've got it in Vita After Dark. It's really good. But the shave butter was good too. I've got Bang in that.
Oh, okay,
and
good.
That is in the serum that you had for it was wonderful.
Thank you. The rice serum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still gonna I'm still offering that, but it's just gonna be in the unscented version.
Nice.
So the whole idea with the shave butter, I wanted to have really nice packaging, which I think no one really cared about. The really nice packaging and vegan, a vegan offering. And also I was creating everything just using essential oils and resins. And so, but I don't think people really cared about that. I thought they would. We did. I mean, we sold some, but it didn't take off like K2E took off or Kaizen took off. So, but we're going to still have that because there's still a good percentage of people that they prefer vegan. So we'll have something hopefully for everyone. And yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Before Carlos speaks, which he speaks over everyone, and I'm going to call him out now on it. So I've got an industry question. How important is it for you to have that vegan base, and what do you think the percentage is of people who look for it, and are they looking for it for the same reasons that everyone kind of thinks that they do? Like I don't want any animal products in there, or is it, you know, sensitivity to tallow? Is there such a thing?
Well, I no, it could be sensitivity to lanolin.
Yeah.
So that could be it. But I think most people, I think a lot of people don't care. So you have that group of people. They just want a great soap. If it's vegan or if it's a tallow base, as long as it's great, right? So I kind of fall in that category, but I lean towards tallow.
Yeah.
Right? But if it's great, it's great. I don't care. But then you have a group of people that they will only shave with a vegan base, or they'll only shave with a tallow base. They just have it in their mind that vegan sucks and they're only going to go with tallow. So as far as percentage, you know, I didn't ever study this. I just know by, you know, sales, but it would be a small percentage of what, 15% of my own. Now, some of that could be because I have a lot of scents that I offer with K2E and just a handful of the vegan. So certainly if I had more vegan offerings, that percentage would go up. But it's a small percentage compared to the tallow-based soap.
There seemed like there was a movement for vegan bases just not that long ago. And of course, it was much slower coming up than the tallow, you know, as far as performance. It took everyone a really long time to get something close to tallow performance. Yeah. But I think, and you know who's out there and who's making really good vegan bases. And I absolutely think that you're one of them. So
well, thank you.
It's
definitely.
It's interesting that there seemed to be a big push, but then there's not as many people getting them now that it's arrived.
Yeah. So I don't know the answer to that, but we'll continue with it anyway. Whether sales are brisk or not, we'll always have that offering. Because for me, for my business, I want to be able to touch everyone, so to speak. So I don't want to just focus on just tallow guys or just vegan guys, just guys in a certain price range, right? So there's a heck of a lot of guys that wet shave and they love to wet shave, but they're not hobbyists, so to speak, where they're on Reddit or they're on Facebook and they're in all these groups and they're posting their shaves of the day, but they wet shave every day. Maybe they just buy from Amazon, right? But there's a bunch of guys, so they're not into the hobby like maybe we're into the hobby.
Yeah.
But they're potential customers. And then you have a group of guys that they love the hobby, but they can't justify paying $25 for a shaving soap.
Yeah.
And right, or even $20. Your sweet spot is in that $15 range, right? So I want to touch them too, and I wanted to introduce a soap base that in that price range is among the best that's out there. The whole idea is to have the best of the best, or at least in that conversation, whether it's vegan, whether it's tallow, or whether it's a budget line. So their Pedro Fiasco line has been doing really, really well for us. And it hits, I think, that sweet spot for the guys that want a great performance. They don't want to pay $25, $35 or whatever it is for a soap that, you know, some people charge. Yeah. And it hits that sweet spot. So I want to be able to touch them. I want to be able to touch the guys that maybe aren't as budget conscious, but they still want to be in that $20 range, 20-ish. And the K2E, most of the soaps are $19.95, so $20. Yeah. And then we'll see what happens. And the VR1 is the same thing in that same price range.
Nice. Here's a question that me, Nikki, and Sully have all asked in our little chat group that we don't know. And Nikki made sure for me to ask you, what is Evans?
Oh, it's me.
we know the Ariana's your daughter's name. Right. We just like, where's the Evans come from?
So my name is Evans Peter Paul Charkalis, and I was named after my father, who passed away. His brother passed away at, I think at 18, 19 years old in a car accident. So
Oh, wow.
it was like 2 years. It was 2 years before I was born. So I was named after him. But he always went by. So his name was Evans Peter Paul, but he was Peter. Everyone knew him as Peter.
Peter.
So
Oh,
with me, yeah. So I'm Peter. Everyone knows me as Peter. My family, you know,
yeah.
I'm not called Evans, you know, at home and then outside. So I'm Peter, but my name is also Evans. So my first name is Evans, and so that's where I got Evans from.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's just I always loved that name. I always thinking about it was too late, but you know, as a in my early 20s, like, yeah, maybe I'll become Evans now. But
That's a cool name for sure.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but Peter, Ariana and Peter just didn't flow. You're really nice.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And by the way, I didn't want it to be art, so I had the shaving shop, and this A&E is like the retail arm of the shaving shop, and I didn't want to pigeonhole Ariana and Evans into just soap and wet shaving, and that's why it's not A&E shaving soaps or Ariana and Evans shaving soaps.
Right.
So it gives me the flexibility to go in any direction that I want to go into, whether it's candles or whether it's skincare or whatever.
Anything.
It is. So yeah, so
that's cool.
That's the reasoning behind the name, and that's how I came up with Evans.
That's really cool. That's they knew there was something behind it. That's awesome. It's good to know. I kind of have a similar thing with that, but everyone calls me Carlos. But everybody that is like friends around here call me Berto, because Portuguese people tend to name their kids their name, and therefore they go by the middle name. And so my whole life I've had two names, so I understand that a little bit.
Cool.
And oh yes, one more thing. The art that happens on the labels, I mean, I love the art on your labels. They are awesome. Is there one person that does it, or is it a variety of artists?
So Raza's done some great work for us. He's the best of the best.
Yeah.
But I also have Dorian in the she's been with me for years.
Okay.
She's actually outside the US. She's in the Republic of Georgia, and so she did she's done a lot of work for us, but she did the pinup series and just a ton of stuff she does for me. She still does. Although I don't know if you've seen this, but I'm making a lot of changes incrementally to the A&E brand, and so you've seen the new logo, and that's gonna become more and more prominent with the branding. The artwork. How should I say this? So when we first started, I wanted to really put us on the map, and the pinup series were great. I just wanted to. Whether you liked it or didn't like it, I wanted you to know it and recognize it. And so we're recognized, for some risque labels. Now the club, but I enjoy that too. And the club will always. So we had that club brand.
Yeah. That
club brand will always allow us, because it's kind of in-house. It's open to the public, but we have a lot of soaps that are exclusive to the members. Yeah. And a few that I put out there, just to kind of get people interested in, the club. I see the club at Maggard's, or some of these are raised a couple of years, whatever. So, but the club allows me to just go off and just do whatever I want to do, which I tend to do.
Yeah.
But with the A&E brand, so I wanted to, I wouldn't say ruffle feathers, but I really don't care whether I do or not, but I wanted to be noticed. So some of our labels were sexy, some of them were just outrageous. And which is fine by me. I mean, that's fine. Some people didn't like that, but they noticed. So whether they didn't like it or they liked it, it really didn't matter to me. What mattered to me was being noticed.
Yeah.
And especially as a new brand. So that's what we did. But now we're at a point where people kind of know who we are, and I don't even really think it matters so much what the label looks like. I mean, some people do buy based upon the label, but we're yeah. So we'll still, I mean, we'll still do full labels because I enjoy doing that, and working with the artists and stuff like that. But we're also we'll we'll have the Medusa head on the label, and
Nice.
really depends on it really depends also on the scent. If I can't think of a good label, a lot of times we create the label before I even create the scent. Soli, you probably know this. I've mentioned this a few times within the VIP group, and then I kind of let the label inspire me on what the scent should be. So so we'll still continue to do
That's
to
cool.
do that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like that. That's a cool idea.
So I work kind of ass backwards.
And, but I mean, it can inspire. I can see like doing a wicked label and being like, oh, this got to smell like this. That's really cool. That's the genius way of doing it.
That's just how the Medusa label looks too much like my wife.
Oh, Mark. Mark,
hopefully wife's not watching this.
Mark, we're sending it to your wife. Someone do a screenshot.
I just almost spit on myself. That was funny.
No, that's hilarious. Oh man.
So we've got some audience questions.
But hold on. Let's do one of the giveaways. We have 3. Let's do one. We're ready at 40 minutes in. So Sloppy, give me a number.
I'll do number 45.
Oh, geez. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna count 3 back from the front. 1, 2, 3. Jolly Roger Shaving, you won the $20 gift card to Zingari Man.
Nice. Congratulations.
Hey.
Congrats.
Good stuff.
See, as a fat man, I find the quickest way to do stuff without doing all that work. You don't get this physique by doing a lot of stuff, John. Okay, now go to the questions, Sully.
Sure. So Aaron Z Call says sample.
Oh, yeah. So I did announce that we're going to be introducing samples. They're being printed now. In fact, I just contacted them. They'll finish up with the printing, I guess, at the end of this week and ship them out to me. So really soon on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
so
cool. That'll be good.
The sample. So I'll have a really cool box. I hope you've seen the box. So that's what's being printed. So the box. Yeah. So I want to do something different, right? So it'll be about a little over an ounce. So 1.25 ounces puck. We'll shrink wrap it, and we'll also have a vial of splash. So we'll have the 2 within the box to go with it.
That's cool.
To go with it. That's
yeah,
cool.
I haven't settled on pricing yet, but I think the 1/4 ounces are selling for what, like between $2.50 and $3, something like that.
Yeah, $2.99 usually.
And that's for a 1/4 ounce, right?
Yeah.
All right, Jolly Roger wants to respin it, so another number, Sloppy.
I'll do number 4. Make it easy.
4. Jacob Heron, $20 gift card to little Jacob.
Nice,
I
Jacob.
promised myself I wouldn't say the word, so congrats, Jacob.
Paul Trotter wonders if you live in a castle, Peter.
This is the showroom. So no, we don't live in a castle. But this has a kind of a gothic-y feel to it and feel to
kick ass. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, the interior is really, really, really cool. So Banaka asks, are you going to turn all your soaps into an EDP, or in your case, X-rates, or do you do special requests?
Everyone, we've got a ton, more than what I had hoped to do. So the answer to the question is no. If I think it translates well, each soap, when I turn it into a fragrance, we change it not quite a bit. It still smells basically the same, but maybe I'll add more mid and base notes to get that longevity. So I play with each one, but if it makes sense, I'll introduce it. But I don't want to. I have to be really delicate how I say this. I don't want the A&E brand to be like others, where we just have a matching soap, matching splash. There's nothing wrong with that. Please don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong and get in trouble. But that's not the direction that I want to go. So I'm not going to have a matching soap for everything. I have Soap of Antiquity, which I think is the best soap in the world right now. So I've got that, and it's all natural. I don't want to add, anything to it. And I really don't want to get. Here's the thing. I don't want our offering. So I don't want everything to complement. Here you go. I don't want everything that I have to complement my soaps. I would rather have a fragrance stand on its own, and people not buy the fragrance because they have the soap.
Yep.
Maybe vice versa. They'll buy the fragrance. Right. And I love this, and let me try the soap. So I don't want, and that's why we have extracts. I didn't want this to be a cologne or even an EDT. So I'd rather have what we have stand on its own. Each offering, Soap of Antiquity, stands on its own. We're selling a ton of that. We probably would sell more soaps. In fact, I know for a fact, if I made a glycerin-based soap or something, just I threw together, which I could easily, and sell it for $5.99, or I could do that very, very easily, and there's nothing wrong with that, and make money on it and sell a lot of it. Yeah. But it's just not what I want to do for me and for the brand. I want to, when I have an offering, I want to have what I think is the best of the best I've ever used. And I'm getting more and more into just all natural ingredients. My daughter's actually been pushing me into that. So that was a very long-winded answer.
No, it's a touchy subject, right? You don't want to say the wrong thing. That's perfect answer.
Yeah, so it's just what's right for what I do and for my brand may not be, it's just, I don't want A&E to be a soap brand. And I don't want the fragrances to just complement the soaps. In an ideal world, and again, I'm still learning. I'm learning a lot, right? That's why I know I can do better at everything that I'm doing. I can improve upon. But in an ideal world, we'll be more known for skincare and fragrances than for wet shaving. For the A&E brand, the shaving shop and club will always be geared towards guys like us. Yeah. Wet shaving, 100%, right? With fragrances, but it's for wet shavers. A&E is been evolving and is more of a, I hate the term lifestyle brand, but we're actually starting to white label for companies for candles, and so we're doing a lot of stuff. And so anyway, what's the next question?
So Ruben, the enabled shaver, asks, would you consider to piggyback off of Soap of Antiquity, would you consider doing hand soaps with pump containers in your scents?
Sully, tell him. It just came out.
It just came out.
So it starts shipping tomorrow to the guys, and so it's in a foam. It's in a foaming pump. It's actually. So this was the old label for a liquid soap that I have for the Cobra Spit tattoo company. But we're changing the label, and now this is going to take over for what I was using for this. But this is the pump anyway.
Is that the size?
This is the
size of the bottle, too?
Yeah, 450 ml. This is the size.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
awesome.
big.
Definitely getting some soap. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so the liquid soap will last a while, because with the foaming action, with the foam pump, you actually use very little of the soap itself, so it'll last a good long time.
Awesome. Gonna check
What
that out for
sensor?
sure.
What sensor
Yeah.
are you coming out with that?
Oh, it's just the Cobra Spit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the Cobra Spit. I'm sorry. That's this. It's soap of antiquity. So
Nice.
there's no it's all natural fragrance. Now for this, I did add a little bit of tea tree oil, but it's all natural. It's just whatever. It's just from the oils that I'm using. That's what the scent is.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't tried Soap of Antiquity, highly recommend it. It's one of the best bath soaps that I've used, and it's great that you're coming out with a
That's
liquid
awesome.
version too. So Kim wants to know, how's the razor sales going?
Thank you.
It's a beautiful
it's going
looker.
very, very well. So better, because I bought a shit ton of the razors. So retailers are starting to pick it up. My distributor for Europe contacted me. They want to sell it. So we'll be distributing. So with that order's coming in for the soaps and, you know, splashes and all kinds of stuff that we're sending out there. So we're going to be really busy over the next 60 days.
Seems like it.
My guess is that, I mean, the last order was over 20,000 pieces. This will be probably more. So that's that's a lot of soaps to
AD
make.
stands for all and everything. Jeez. That's big. That's a big order.
Yeah. So wait.
So I heard.
Anyway, that'll be going out to Europe as well. So so sales are going well. Hopefully they'll be even better, so I can place another order or work with them and have something else.
Ooh.
So if I'm not mistaken, I believe I heard So Sharp David say that you were going to be at the California meetup.
I already booked my ticket.
Correct me if
so
I'm wrong.
I'm going to be there for sure.
Nice.
Okay, excellent. And then Ken, mostly Vintage Head Shaver, asks, are you also going to be at the Maggards meetup?
Yeah. I already booked that as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll
not the ticket,
see
but
you there.
I already. Oh, good.
Oh yeah, we got a bunch of dudes getting ready.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people already. We're gonna hijack a bus and head on down there. It's gonna be awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
Oh, it's a great meetup. It's more like an expo. They have a great building. So you have, I don't know if you've ever been there before, but downstairs they redid it. But the downstairs, so where their showroom is, where all the wet shaving products are, it's a big, enormous place. And then upstairs, which I think when they're not doing the expo, I think it's like their living room or something. But it's an enormous space. And I don't know how many vendors that they had, but I mean, there was a ton of vendors. They had to wrap around the whole outer wall, you know, we're against the wall. And the room is so big, they had another circle in the middle of the room. So people can go through and just, you know, check us out. And then behind them is another vendor. So it's a cool setup. It's a lot of fun, a lot of great vendors.
John, remind me to leave my wallet at home. Please.
I'll hold on to it.
She can't take no more. She just can't take no more. The back is breaking on that one.
Now, out of curiosity, Peter, do you do sales? Do you bring enough to do sales at some of these meetups?
Do I? Yeah. So we have an advantage over most because with Maggards, you can sell whatever you want as long as they don't sell it. So I think maybe some guys create some stuff or whatever. But I have the club brand. So I bought a ton of stuff with me last time.
Nice.
And we'll do that this time around. I may
Phil, bring a bag of loonies.
Convince my daughter. I may bring her along on this trip.
I'll
Nice.
buy a bunch of
That'd be
stuff,
good
but I'm
experience
using
for
Carlos's card.
Damn it, I'm definitely not giving you the wallet now for sure. Sully, you got to hold on to the wallet. He may be worse than John.
So, probably. So Ben Belu asks, which scent did you think would sell really well but ended up not, and vice versa?
Let me look in the room. Oh, I'll show you. There's a couple of them.
John, you can do the bottle.
You're paying for the room, Carlos, by the way.
No problem. As long as your credit card's on for the damages, because I don't think that bed's going to be able to take it.
Let's see if there's anything else. Bang is one. For whatever reason, I like Bang, but I think some people.
Me too.
Some people are afraid of the cannabis note, so they kind of stay clear of it. Although with Khalifa, it didn't seem to matter. Khalifa's always been a really big seller. Black Magic. This smells so good, but I think I may have forgotten to release it to the public.
I've never seen that one. I've never seen one.
What's that?
I've never seen that label. I've never even heard of it.
I think I forgot to release it. So that could be why. So that's one. Papillon Rouge smells really, really, really nice, and that too, I think maybe I didn't release to the public yet. So Black Magic is really good. Oh, Lord Shady. Hey,
yes,
buddy.
you did release.
No, but I don't think I did release it to the public.
Oh,
he's
the
in
club.
Oh, Nicolita the cat. That's right. So the
club member, yeah.
So I was in the Philippines for 3 months, and there's this cat that lived in the tree above the house I was renting, Negrita. And nobody would talk to her. Poor thing was so thin, and everyone said that if you look at her, you get bad luck, and they're very superstitious. Black cat, and every time I saw this freaking cat, something bad would happen to me, and I was like, "Holy shit, I don't believe in that stuff, but maybe they're onto something." So I thought, I'm going to be stuck here for 3 months. I better make friends with Negrita. So I started. So I started to feed her, and then she just would come every day. She'd start meowing, and every single day I would feed her, and then she would just start purring. I'm not a cat guy. I never had a cat before. Now we do because I fell in love with Negrita.
Oh,
but
that's awesome.
So I would yell out in the morning, Negrita, and all of a sudden I hear meow, and she would. I hear rustling in the tree, and then she's jumping out of the tree and coming down to see me, and so. This soap was inspired by her. So
that's awesome.
On the label.
So she had a good 3 months of food then. I imagine you fed the hell out of the cat.
She did. She's still around. So I worry about her. So I still talk to the neighbors and see how she's doing. She's still around. But I think
that's awesome.
I think the people that rent the house now, I was told they're also feeding her. So that's good.
Peter with the heart of gold. I love it. That's amazing, brother. That's awesome. No, that's awesome. Be proud of that. That's cool. I really love that.
So Angelo says, how is Mama Sita send her love from us?
So she's there. She works here. Well, she comes here every day and she helps out. She just left a little while ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then Sleepy 8A says, is Peter going to make any more of the Brooklyn Parfum?
Actually, I do have some oils left.
Hey, so defeated.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Actually, Kyrios was asking earlier in the chat. He was asking if you're planning on re-releasing Casablanca.
No.
No. No.
Well, the thing is,
no, damn it.
I could, but I know how it's made, but it wasn't made by. So this is back before I ever dreamed about making soaps. You remember I mentioned So I had some people making soaps for
Yeah.
me. Katie's Bubbles made a bunch,
Yep.
and PAA, they made Casablanca.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, so I think I don't know if this was a true story, but I remember Douglas had mentioned that I don't know, they because it was named Casablanca and the artwork, they got into trouble, and
No, it wouldn't
we had to
surprise
stop.
me.
So I don't know, because
Ah.
I don't know, but in any case, there's no plans on offering that now. But who knows?
Can I ask you a question, Peter?
Yeah.
And it's because someone is in the chat, and it's just something. You seem like a good guy. You seem like a man of your word. If I was personally messaging you and you promised me a free soap, would you actually send that free soap as a manufacturer?
As if I promised you a free soap,
Yeah, would you send it to me? And the correct answer is yes. I'm just giving you a heads up.
yeah,
and
I
you
would
have
say
that.
I should.
Okay, I just want to get that over with.
It also depends on, was I drinking when I said yes? Did
Well,
I forget?
So funny you would mention that. This person had been maybe drinking a little, but I just wanted to call that person out while I had you on the live, and she'll probably kill me now.
Oh yeah, she's got knife skills. Look out.
Don't worry, Art. We're gonna get there. I'm just going through all of them. So Carlitos asks, "Saludos, Peter. What are your top A&E club sets?"
That's always changing. So I have some stuff, like if you asked me, a couple of years ago, Asian Plum or The Novelist, but now it's just some of the newer stuff. Only because I think I'm getting better at this, but also it's just newer. So I'm just, I really love some of the new stuff. But I'll tell you, ones that are older that I still am in love with: Chasing the Dragon, Udiction, Tibetan Temple.
That's a good
one. Let me look around the room here. Yeah,
Novelist is
Amber
good
Rose,
too. I love
Amber
that
Rose
one.
Smells amazing.
I'm telling you, I love the artwork and the smell of Boo. I loved Boo.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
such
yeah.
a
I'm
dark,
kind of
wonderful scent.
Yeah, so I'm kind of reintroducing that as Club Taboo, because I don't want to boo. It was a Halloween. I made it for Halloween. But
Yeah,
it's not like a Halloween
No,
soap.
not
It actually smells
at
really
all.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that also was just re-released on Friday. We had a big release on Friday.
Nice.
Within the club members, they always get access first, and then most will be released to the public. Oh, I saw Vanilla Vendetta. That's another one. Vanilla Vendetta is a really good one. But I love all the scents that we have, signature. But if I didn't, I wouldn't release it, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
when I do something, I don't.
Yep.
So I don't offer a scent that I think is going to really sell well. But at some point, I'll say that. Yeah. Hopefully it'll do really well. But I really create for me and what I like, and then I just hope that others will like it as well.
Awesome. Okay, let's do one more of those giveaways. We're going to do the Shannon Soaps Vanilla and Mint, also paired with the Holland Glen by Talbot and Maol. So give me a number, Sully. Between 1 and
Here,
150.
okay, we'll let Peter do the last one.
31. Okay.
31.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, there's a
So here,
question. I
while
see
you're
it
counting,
here from Art Shaves.
Yeah.
So yeah, there'll be another expo for New York City, for sure. The one thing I was thinking about renting a yacht again. So a few years back, we rented a yacht. We had over 100 people, went around the island of New York, around Manhattan, and that was great. That was a great success. I have a lot of things on my mind, but I'm busier now than I've ever been, and I still need to go back to the Philippines. But yeah, the answer to the question is yes. But I don't know whether I'm going to rent a boat again for the summertime, or if we're going to do something, end of spring. I'll talk to Leon from Pastors, and we'll figure it out. But for sure, we'll do another New York City meetup.
Awesome. So DK, damn fine shaves, won that set of
Congratulations.
Holland Glen set. Congrats. And also the Vanilla Mint by Shannon Phelps. Congratulations, DK.
Congrats.
That man is mainstream if he's nothing. Inside joke.
Lord Shady asks, Peter, which YouTuber annoys you the most, and why is it so
it is David. No, I love David. David's a very good friend. He's one of the reasons why I'm flying out to California.
Nice.
But he is annoying. He's a pain in the ass too.
So Heather Zingari Man asks, do you get release anxiety for new products?
Hey Heather. So I don't get anxiety. I'm excited, but our model is really different. So I release to the VIP members and not to the public first. So I'm sure if I release to the public first, I would be filled with anxiety. But because it's to our members first, they get first access to all the new releases. I'm pretty certain we have 1,000 members, 1,000 plus. So I know we're going to do, fairly well because these guys are just nuts with wet shaving. These guys will buy anything. So no, I'm not anxious, or I don't have anxiety. Of course, I want everything to do well. Some things do better than others, but that's just how business is.
There you go.
So this is for Carlos as well. Chris from Carb asked, do you have a Canadian themed soap?
So
if not, what would
I
it
don't.
be?
Sure.
Have to have. So we probably have to have maple syrup in it, right?
There you go.
I think that's been done. I think there was didn't somebody do a Canadian soap with maple syrup type of scent?
I don't know.
I don't know, but
I'm not sure.
I'm thinking maybe if you mixed in maple syrup, Molson Canadian beer, and Canadian bacon,
so
and
we certainly could do
drizzle of poutine.
Canadian bacon.
Drizzle of poutine, we're good. There's Carlos eating the soap. Eating the soap. Oh, God.
So I should do something for the Canadian Mafia show or for Carve, but no, I haven't done a Canadian themed soap yet, but I should, because we actually have a lot of customers from Canada.
That's it. It's up.
So Art again asks, what is an emu and why do you like its oil?
Interesting story. We're not the first to use emu oil, but we're not the first to use Steric or shea butter or kokum butter either, or lanolin. But with my old real job that I used to have, I used to travel a lot I opened up the Australian market. So I worked for this British software development company, and what I did was open up market. I opened up the U.S. market, the Canadian market, the Australian market, and then I helped them with the U.K. And so I was going to Australia twice a year, at least twice a year, for like 10 years straight. I mean, I flew a lot of airline miles, and that's where I was introduced to the emu oil initially.
Nice.
And what are they? They look like they're in the, I guess they're in the ostrich family. They look like ostriches, but they're just enormous.
Yeah.
And but the emu oil is just so luxurious. I mean, it's incredible. I don't know if you've ever tried, Sully, you've tried the soap, but I don't know if you've tried the emu oil that we have. But if you put it on, it really feels unlike anything else that I've used before. And so anyway, that's what it is. It's in the I guess it looks prehistoric. In fact, I'll tell you a quick story. Con Kazantzidis, who's a very, very, very dear friend of mine. He's the guy that started the Shave the Man, and he has the Stray Whiskers store in Australia.
Ah, okay.
So he's in Laura,
Yeah.
Australia, which is about 2.5 hours from Sydney. So it's a good distance away. But as you're, and I would always stay, that's where most of my business was in Sydney, and I would go to Canberra and Melbourne. But most of my time I stayed in Sydney. So I would always make a weekend trip to Khan's house up in the mountains of Lura. And he had a beautiful home, majestic, overseeing this valley. I just never seen anything like it. But as you're driving through the countryside, it literally looks like something from prehistoric times. Just
Nice.
the way the countryside is just so beautiful, but very different than the U.S. It just looks very different. What was that movie with the dinosaurs? What the hell was that?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. It
Jurassic Park.
literally looked like something out of Jurassic Park. And that's where I actually saw my first emus, because we would drive past emu farms, but I saw the kangaroo, and it was just crazy. It was really, really cool. But anyway, so it's in the bird family, and that was my first introduction to emu oil. It's absolutely wonderful stuff.
That's awesome.
So Heather asks another question from Heather Zingari, man. What is your biggest challenge as a business owner?
So now we pretty much have a good handle on things. My biggest challenge in the beginning, and that lasted for a couple of years, was so I was always a guy in marketing and in sales and opening up new markets. That was what I did really well. I never owned a business before, and our biggest challenge was, how do you go from cooking in 20-quart pots in the kitchen and scaling up? So scaling up was my biggest challenge. And then so in the beginning, before I made soaps, Vita from Oleo would send me, so she was making soaps for me. Other people were making soaps, but Vita was doing a lot of the soaps for me. And I was getting them in big containers, and I was making them to order, but I could, because we were busy, but we weren't that busy.
Yeah.
It's something that we could manage. But then as we grew and became bigger and bigger, it was a struggle to scale up. I had no experience in scaling up a business and running a business, but how do you get the orders out quick enough? And that was our Achilles heel. And that lasted for a while. A lot of people were very patient. They understood, small business and hiccups. Some people weren't so patient, and I'll never buy from you again, because understandably.
Oh, wow.
Some people would wait a week, or longer to get. So I could understand their.
As a Canadian, we wait longer anyways, so perfectly fine.
So, but anyway, so scaling up was always our biggest pain point, and still we're still in that growth mode. So when we get, and I know Heather, that she also has the same distributor. And so when you get these big orders coming in, how do you manage that, and also manage your regular orders that come in and other retail orders and stuff that's coming in, and I'm doing white label stuff. So that's the biggest challenge at this point, more so than anything else, because we're still learning this business. You're still learning everything, and I would say that I'm not a great business guy. I'm what I'm really good at. I'm a dreamer.
Nice.
And I come up with these ideas, and the only thing that kind of sets me apart from others is that I'm not scared to act upon my dreams. So I come up with an idea, and I just do it. I just run with it, and so that's kind of what we do, and yeah. Anyway, I hope I answered.
No, yeah, most definitely. That was a really good answer. Now we can, it's easy to understand. I'm sure ramping up should be the main cause, but that's awesome. And you have. Definitely have.
but truth be told, we pissed off a lot of people because people did wait. And what I was saying, so the changeover from basically making soaps to order and sending them to order, and we were doing that even in the beginning when I started making my own soaps. I was putting them in the 5-gallon buckets, and that was the big. I didn't know how to switch over and build inventory. We never had inventory, so everything was to order. We're like a McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
But I just couldn't keep up. So learning how to scale up and having the time and having the equipment to build up inventory, that's what our biggest challenge is. And even now, we have inventory now, but we need to make a ton of stuff this week to restock. So anyway, yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
So Enrique, the millennial shaver, asks, what are the best books, videos, etc. for learning how to make soap?
I don't know, because this was a while ago, but there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube. I've done that. I did read a book that was from what's her name? Jesus, God help me. Soap Commander.
Okay.
Yeah, she wrote a book.
Okay.
Excellent book. I would do that. I would absolutely get that book. There's other books that you can get, but I would get that book. Plus, you're supporting a great person. So I would get that book, and I just watch a bunch of YouTube videos, take notes if that's what you're looking to maybe do. And if you're a wet shaver, so you kind of have an idea of what you like. So just run with it and do it. Don't wait, because tomorrow will never come. You do it today.
Nice.
And start taking those notes and watching those videos. And if you're a wet shaver, you know what you like, and just do it.
That's awesome. Great advice. Great advice right there.
Great advice. Yep. So Art has another question. Damn it, Peter, how long do I have to wait for the Miles
I'm
Davis
always scared to
tribute
get
soap?
these tributes. That's why the Biggie Small soap, I never released it to the public. It was just a very limited edition thing.
Right.
If I released it to the public, that was a great soap. But I'm very worried about releasing something like that to the public, because if we were where we were a couple years back, right? It's still at the house, and not selling a lot. We sold, but we didn't sell like we're selling today. It'd be different. I wouldn't care. We're just a hobbyist making soap, and who's going to come after me? But now that we've become a little bigger, I don't want to be exposed and get myself in trouble.
Yeah.
So
right.
So that's probably, if I do like a Miles Davis. So Art, you're in the club. So if I did something like that, it would probably be very limited, and you wouldn't see it on the website. It would be behind in the VIP room, which the public can't see. So I know you've been asking for it for a long time. So we'll see. We'll see.
So can I ask a insider question of what is limited mean numbers wise? Just out of curiosity.
So I don't want to do, if I do a limited soap, we're not big on that. When I release something, we release it. But if I was to do a limited edition soap, I wouldn't put a number on it. I'd make sure that we had enough, and because I make my own soaps, I don't have to really worry about that.
Yeah.
And so if we sold out, I just make more. But limited to me means I'm not going to have it forever. So I would put more, it would be less about numbers and more, do I have it available for a month or 3 months or 6 months? So let me tell you how bad I am with limited edition. the pinup series, that was a limited edition, and that lasted about 2.5 years.
Well, it kept
So,
selling, so you kept making it.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So, Ruben has another question. We know your daughter will be taking over. What good idea does she have upcoming, and what idea do you think is bad? Was bad. Excuse me.
What idea did she come up with that I thought was bad? So
Yeah, do you have upcoming?
This is going to sound like a proud papa, but I'm being very honest with you. My daughter's brilliant, and I wished I was as smart as her. She's never had a bad idea. I would say the only bad idea, not a bad idea, but it may add too much expense to what we're doing. She would prefer that we get away from plastics as much as possible. And she's, she's of that generation. I mean, I think that's great. I would like to do that, but she's like really, and so I'm researching if biodegradable stuff and if out of different materials.
Yeah.
So, and there's actually stuff out there that would work, and but it adds quite a bit of cost.
Yeah.
To what we do. I mean, I could get rid of the plastic. I don't want to do what Fine did when Fine was, Fine a few years back when they had the boxes and they were. I don't think they were shrink wrap. I don't know if they were shrink wrapped or not, but. That wouldn't work for us. We would have to have some sort of jar.
Uh-oh. Might have lost audio.
I mean, she has a lot of ideas. All of them are really quite good. And I rely on her a lot. There's not a scent that gets released. There's not a label that gets released without her thumbs up and her, if she says, no, it's not, basically everything she says, I do, because she's usually right. I mean, she's a good kid. She's really a good girl. And, I'm proud of her. She's Dean's List at University of New Haven.
Wow.
She's
Wow.
beautiful and she's intelligent. Nice. The company's going to be in very good hands with her for sure.
Yeah.
So Rob asks, sorry if you already answered this, but will the samples be available in all soaps or just certain ones?
I think what we'll do is initially we'll start. So I'm not going to have them in every. So the answer is probably not every set. I don't know. Jesus, I don't know. It really depends on how well we do with it, right? My guess is we'll do pretty well with it. I think we're going to start off with maybe, I don't know, between 6 and 10, probably closer to 10 initially, and then we'll see how that goes, and then we'll do another 10, and so we'll kind of spoon feed these. I'm not going to, it's just, it's going to be a lot of work. And because I'm going to California for this meetup, I'll be there for a week. And then I'm taking Talia to Puerto Rico for a week.
Nice.
That's in March.
Oh, nice.
And then soon after I'll be going to the Philippines. So, and plus we're going to be doing the order for the EU distributor. We've actually already started making soaps for that in preparation because it's coming in. So we're really busy. So I'll probably just kind of spoon feed it until I get back.
Nice.
So we just got 2 more questions. Art says, "Do the samples rant? It never gets old."
You know what? Is that a real question? So I have I don't know how old it is, but I have some old soaps. I have my grandfather's. It's still in the Old Spice jar.
Oh, that's cool.
From when I was in high school.
Oh, wow.
Then, and and I'm going to be 60 in 6 months, less than 6 months. So and it's still fine. you can't, it doesn't smell like anything. So as long as you, it's soap, it's not going to go bad. As long as you, let it dry out and don't, keep it wet and close the top, and it'll get funky then. But yeah, it should last for a long time. Plus it's a sample, Art. If you're going to use a sample, he's laughing. If you're going to use a sample, just use it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So just two more. Kim says, can you show how the tattoo she did on you is healing?
So my daughter's not a tattoo artist, but she's just good at everything she does. God, I hate that. That sounds terrible to say that. But,
no, it's probably true. And that's awesome. She's just multi-talented.
She's not a so not this past Christmas, the Christmas before, I didn't know what to get her. So I bought her she's a really good artist. She's not trained, but she's just a good artist. Yeah. And I bought her a tattoo gun.
Pen. Yeah, nice.
And so I was their guinea pig. And the very first tattoo she ever did was this one. You can see the eye. I mean, the detail and the shading is just amazing. Yeah. So I was her guinea pig. And then, but now, see the koi. She's going to do another koi.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you can see the detail.
Yeah, nice.
You can't see the detail. But the detail on it is just remarkable. And wow. She's not an apprentice. She's not going to do this for a career. It's just for shits and giggles, really. And, but she's really quite talented. It's just, it amazes me, the stuff that she's able to do. So
that's great. That's amazing.
So Poppy, aka So Sharp David, asked, please mention the SoCal meetup. You did, but if you want to mention it,
when is it? David, when is it? I'm flying out on, I think it's the 13th of March. I think I'm flying out on March 10th. And I'll be there for a week. So the meetup, I believe, is on the 13th. And David has all the details. He booked a restaurant, and I think a lot of people are going to be going. I told David I'll make a soap for everyone, but I'm not going to try. I'll just give it to the guys. So nice. I don't want to make money on meetup and sell stuff. So I'll come up with something, and maybe it'll be like the sample. I'll have the sample box. So I'll do like a sample thing, and so I'll do that. So that's on the 13th. And I need to meet 4th. Up with.
So Sharp says March 4th.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The 10th I fly to Puerto Rico. It's March. That's right. So I fly out on February 28th. Sorry. February 28th is when I booked the ticket for. And going out there. Yeah.
There you go.
Jesus, I gave you the wrong date. In Paramount, yeah.
Yeah. In Paramount. There you go. And it's Daddy, not Poppy. Sorry. The last
Peter,
question.
He sucks.
What's the current status of your operations in the Philippines? We are waiting for chipper shipping to Hong Kong, and then also ties in to your EU distributor for Ireland.
The Philippines was a minor disaster for me. I shouldn't say that, but when you start operations in another country, I used this term before, but you don't know what you don't know, and in the U.S., you don't have to go through what Europe goes through with the whole EU regulations and stuff. Well, the Philippines, everything has to go through the FDA, even for freaking shaving soap.
Oh, wow.
So we don't have to go through that. So I made 1,000 soaps, and we signed up two Chinese companies, and I have an Indian retailer. I've got a distributor in Australia, and I couldn't ship anything out. I tried to ship out a box to China, and they wouldn't take it. They said, "Oh, you need all these documents."
Oh, no.
So ever since then, we've been not fighting, but trudging through all the red tape that's associated with doing business in the Philippines, and I'm paying for this location. Thankfully, because of the dollar versus the Philippine peso, I could afford to do that. And I'm paying for employees, but again, because of the dollar, and it's not so bad. Plus, I'm helping them. I don't want them to suffer because of, you know, waiting for their FDA approvals. But now, so we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally, so I have a lawyer out there, and she's been helping out. And Joanna is our office manager. She's been working through this. But our lawyer found somebody from the FDA that they could help us from the inside. We actually just had this meeting like 3 days ago. So that's going to be able to speed things along. So to answer your question, I don't think it's going to be too far out. A lot of the paper, everything's been submitted. Now it's just cutting through the red tape, and now we have an inside person that's going to help us through that. But it's you know, Jesus, it's been crazy trying to get this thing done. So I still have my awesome space with a big long deck overlooking the Main Street area of Benmali.
Beautiful.
And yeah, so it's just waiting for us.
Jeez.
All right, let's do.
Excellent. That's all. That's all the
Let's
questions.
do
You want to do the last,
Mr. Peter? We need a number between 1 and 43.
How about 39?
39. Counting 4 from the bottom.
And whoever the winner is, just remember they can ship internationally,
It doesn't matter. It's CODIS. It's Greg from SD Shaves. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh, nice, Greg.
Awesome dude. Awesome dude, Greg is.
So so I guess
good
is
stuff.
he going to email you, or he can email us? Maybe email me if he's online. info@shavingshoponline.com.
Saving shop on. Okay. Did you hear that, Greg? No answer.
So I just had one last thing before we end it. I was just curious about the story behind this. I know you had said that this was when you, I guess, weren't making your own soaps. But what was the story behind Hudson Street?
Maker, Jeeves on Hudson Street.
Hold on. Sorry.
What's that?
Greg says he already has it. He wants a respin. So number between 1 and 37. 39, sorry. Peter?
So you want me to pick another number? 27. 27.
Okay. You can go back to it. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're not. Sorry.
Say that again?
I got to call you out, Carlos. You're loud and you interrupt people all the time. And I'm here just to point that out to the general public.
Well, this one is international. It's going to Aaron Zeke Hall.
Oh,
Canada.
Oh,
very
nice.
Congrats, Aaron.
No. Oh.
I'll ship it to Niagara Falls, and it's up to you from there. No kidding. No kidding. So, send the email. Send me an email with your email address. We'll get that figured out.
Peter's going to be there at the falls, just kind of holding it out. You've got to be on the other side, reaching out. Hopefully, you've got long arms.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Aaron.
Okay, so sorry we interrupted you. Well, you were talking about Hudson Street.
So there was a soap maker, Jeeves on Hudson Street. Just before I decided to make my own soap, I had commissioned him to make soaps or make that soap for me. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if he took a while or whatever. But soon after I decided I'm going to make my own soaps, we got those soaps in, and I just never released. I forgot all about it. I just never released it, and we had it in a box. And when we moved, somehow we missed it when we moved to the factory space. And then when we moved here, I found this soap. I said, Jesus Christ, you know, I've got this. What am I going to do with this? I just decided, you know what? We'll just release it to the members. Just make sure that they know that I didn't make it. And I forgot what we sold. We sold it for a dirt cheap price. I forget what it was. Like, what was it? Like $13 or, yeah, maybe less.
Something like that. Yeah.
And
yeah, it's pretty low.
yeah, so that's the story behind it. So all I did is created the label from the shirt that we created, and slopped it on there, and that's it.
Awesome. So wicked label.
Nice.
Tell you what, that label's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Very cool.
So, but I am, now that we're sold out with that, I think I'll release it in K2E because it's a great scent.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's based on Xerjoff's Neo, right?
Oh, one more thing. Yeah. Stacks Reviews also he was asking. He thinks it's a great idea, Peter, if you were to make a soap after Bulgari Atlantique.
Yeah. So the thing is, I'm trying to get away, but I keep getting asked to make these designer fragrances, but I'm really trying to get away from doing that stuff. And
okay.
You know, so the thing is, for me, what I enjoy doing most of anything that I do is, besides being, you know, talking to guys like you, is just creating, you know, playing with creating new bases, or, you know, just farting around when I have time to do that, or coming up with an idea to come up with soap of antiquity, or, you know, just creating, right? That's what I do. And I love playing around with the freaking oils. I spend thousands of dollars worth of oils that I have here. And I'm just constantly playing around. That's what I enjoy doing. That's not work for me. So I would much prefer to just offer my own scents. But I know that there's a very big market for doing soaps like that. So there's a fine line. We're doing less and less of that. Yeah, I didn't even want to do Spartacus. But
I'm glad you did.
But I was convinced to do that. Yeah. So and Spartacus is still around. We still do well with that.
But yeah, I love your originals. Pistachio is amazing. So I kind of agree with you. Doing
Yeah,
the
even
original
Boo.
stuff
Boo is
yeah.
bugs.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never Alone 2. Wow.
Yeah. It's hard to get excited.
Never Alone.
I mean, the bass is the bass, you know. So I love the bass, right? And but it's already done.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get excited over introducing that, or because it's already introduced. But coming up with something that you blend yourself or you create yourself, yeah, there's nothing quite like that. And then having people say that they love it is very, very, very rewarding.
Yeah.
Truth be told, that's you know, when people say that they love the bass and they love the scent, or they love this or they love that, that means a lot to me. Of course, making money means that's very important as well. You know, without sales, we can't pay bills. So that's important.
How dare you?
Sure.
How dare you as a business want to make money?
Yeah.
Jeez, what were you thinking? Which I unfortunately, a little bit of the community forgets that sometimes. I think that, you know, you are a business and you got mouths to feed, your family and employees and stuff. So I think you've done a really good job on keeping very reasonable pricing, and especially through the club. But you know, I think you and there are other artisans too that, and I know, you know, I think, yeah, I'm sure he's got thousands of dollars in oils, you know, and that how many soaps had to sell to get to that point, and you know, there's a lot behind the creativity.
Yeah. Thank you. So because I came up as a hobbyist, just like you guys, you know, so but my perspective may be a little bit different than some people that come in and just came out of nowhere, right? And just they open up a company.
Straight business. Yeah, straight business.
So I never wanted to sell a soap at a very high price point. I always wanted to keep it within reach of any hobby, anybody, right?
Yeah.
And at 1995, I realized things are difficult for a lot of people. It's still difficult. And so when I hear somebody say, and this happens a lot, oh, I really want to get that soap. I want to save up for it. It kind of breaks my heart, that, well, first, thank you that you want to, but to have to save up for a soap, I want to be able to, obviously I want to be able to make money and have decent margins, because I have to pay the bills, I have to pay employees, but I want to keep everything within reach of the guys that have to save up to buy a soap.
Yeah.
So, and that's another reason why. So now that I kind of know what I'm doing, I'm able to, I could create a soap with basic ingredients. It's all about the ratios, and it could be a real fabulous, I don't know if Sully, if you've tried the Pedro Fiasco soap, the hard soap, not the small pots. Those are very good, the small pots, but the hard soap, and even the cream, but the hard soap is really, really freaking good. And I mean, we sell that for, what do we sell that for? I don't even remember. Is it $14 or 50, whatever it is? I think it's 14. I think it's $13.99 or something like that. Yeah. For 5 ounces.
$13.99. Yeah.
That's a good deal. And it's a very, very good soap. So I want to have an elite brand. I want our brand to be considered among the best, right? And everyone has their favorites, right? Whether Heather was on earlier, so Cigar is outstanding, and B&M is outstanding. Declaration, and there's a whole bunch of really, really, really great products out there. And I want to be in that conversation. Of course, I want to be the best at everything. Everyone has their own favorites, right? But if I can offer really good value and a really great product, then that's great. The business will come if you're able to do that. So that's what that's what we're all about.
That's awesome.
Trying to be the best that we can be, have it reasonable, not too cheap where it cheapens the brand. There's always a danger of that too, from a business perspective. If you want your brand to kind of stand out and have that elite status, you don't want to cheapen it by having the price too low. So, and that's why the Pedro Fiasco line is not Ariana and Evans, because I don't want to cheapen the Ariana Evans brand. Not that there's anything wrong with having a $14 soap, but you guys know what I'm saying. So it's the Pedro Fiasco line. Under that name is our value line, and then you have the Ariana and Evans, and the in the club branded soaps. I'm talking.
Like DK said, the discount program is fantastic. DK said as well.
Thank you, DK. Yeah, so most of our soaps are at $19.95 for everybody, and for the VIP members, I think on average they pay like $15.96 at minimum. Maximum, because we have on top of that a tiered pricing structure. So what happens is a lot of guys, they just buy. They'll buy 2 sets and they'll get an additional 7%. So now they're up to 27%. If they buy more, they get even more of up to 40% off, which is like almost wholesale pricing. So they get a really, really good deal. And it kills my margins, by the way. I mean, I really, at some point, I may need to increase. I don't want to increase the price, but freaking prices have skyrocketed over the last couple of years. And
is it everything, or is it, where do you see the most price increase? Is it some of the containers?
Everything is going up.
Yeah.
I forgot what I have to check what we paid on the last few orders with the containers. I didn't even look at the price. Steric went up a lot. I was paying for a 50-pound bag $79, and I think the last one I ordered, or maybe not this order, but the previous, was that like 114 or something like that.
Oh wow!
And then may have come down with the last order a little bit, but it's still in the, you know, it's still up there, 100 to 114 in that range. But yeah, everything has gone up. What happens is once prices go up, they'll probably stay that way.
Yeah,
It's almost, that almost never will come down.
100%. Yeah.
Well,
Right.
once
right.
they see they can get that price, even, you know, and they jack it, sometimes the price goes up because it's costing them more and they're passing it on through whatever. But sometimes they go, oh, we can get this?
Yeah. Yeah.
We thought it'd never sell, but
Right.
we'll
But in
keep it
fairness to them,
similar.
they were getting screwed too. So these companies that I buy from, you know, they're all paying, they're probably paying more as well. And who knows when they're buying it, those prices will not probably come down. So they have to pass that on to me. But the problem is I haven't passed it on to you guys yet. So I'm hoping I'm hoping that our volume will continue to grow and that I won't need to increase prices. But we can do that in different ways. Oh God, I'm going to kind of let the cat out of the bag now, but and I didn't want to. But so I'm going to be offering something, repackaging, and definitely it will be a new base. So the goal is to create something that's even better than K2E, but I'll just offer it on a very limited basis in a really upscale packaging, upscale jars, upscale splash bottle. I mean, really high-end splash bottles, really nice jars, in a box with the silver, with our logo on the top and the silver foil,
Nice.
you know, logo, and just going to be really, really upscale. So I'm kind of thinking about that and doing that. But then that kind of gets me to where I didn't want to be in that arena in that price range. So I'm a little bit conflicted with that. I need to price out. I sent some artwork to the company I've been using for boxes, and to get an idea of what the box, because it's going to be fairly substantial, the box. It's not going to be some flimsy box. And
Sure.
but I'm starting to do more of that as well, with having things boxed, like the you know, for the I don't know if you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the scent notes, and so for the fragrances.
Yep.
And some with the skincare line, I'm going to have them in boxes. So anyway, we'll see where everything leads. But yeah, the thing is with and I saw that Talbot, they're stopping. The Talbot soaps are fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
And Mal
Yes.
Groom.
Yes.
Is it Mal Grooming or
Mal grooming.
Yep. Mal, we don't know how to say male, not
so
sure.
that's sad to see. And I'm afraid that we're going to see more of this. Now, I don't think that was always for Chad. That was always a hobby. He was always doing this because he's a hobbyist. He just happened to make one of the best soaps in the world.
Right.
And
Right.
so it was more of a personal decision. Without talking to him, I'm just more of a personal decision, because he just got more important things to do than that. But I think we're going to see more companies dropping out. I'm guessing at this because of the price increases, which makes it so if there's,
Yeah.
again, I'm guessing at this, but it kind of makes sense to me that if prices are increasing and if you're buying smaller quantities, it makes it very, very challenging.
And probably pricier by comparison.
Of course.
When you're trying to start out than when you started out.
Yeah. Well, when I first started, I just bought everything on Amazon. I didn't know where to buy stuff. You know who helped me? Stefan from the Holy Black helped a lot. He's a great guy from Long Island.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I got to know Stefan from. I tell this story all the time. I got to know Stefan from the New York City meetups. You know, I'm a hobbyist. He's a hobbyist. He's such a cool guy, and so I knew him, right? And we met many times. He came on the boat where he had the meetup, and all the meetups he would go to. And so I gave him a ring, and he just gave me a laundry list of everything I need to buy. You need to get stainless steel spoons. You need to get an infrared temperature gauge. You need to get a 20-quart pot. You need to get an induction cooktop. And I joke, I tell everyone, because I didn't know what the fuck is an induction cooktop. I never heard of that before. So I had to look it up. But so all these things he told me I needed to buy, and I bought it. And then I bought everything from Amazon when I started. My guess is that everyone that gets into this, making soaps initially as a hobby, they probably buy everything from Amazon as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure, probably.
Yeah, so I forgot what made me go off into that tangent.
Well, yeah, we've been going for 2 hours.
Too.
Just want to say thank you again for.
This has been fun.
Just want to say
It's been awesome.
yeah, thank you again for joining.
Yeah, very informative. Love the stories, man. That was really cool. Really cool.
Cool. I enjoyed
So my
it.
first soap was Revolution, and I still love it. That is,
thank you.
Everything I've gotten has been great, and you know, keep going.
And the
You're doing great things.
The strength of the scents, love it. Love the longevity.
Yeah,
That's a dangerous zone.
No, love it, man.
Yeah.
I love putting it on, and like after the shave, I'll smell this tomorrow morning. I love that. I'm going to smell that. Love it.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Guys.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, everybody that showed up. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sloppy.
Anytime.
Thank you, Sloppy, for subbing in. And Peter, thank you for being an awesome guest.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anytime you
have a
need
good
to
night.
Just let me know. That was
Awesome.
fun.
We'll do. We'll most definitely
Absolutely.
do.
All right, guys. All right,
Later.
Take care.
Take care, everyone. Have a great night.
All right. Bye-bye.